Alright, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Now, I told you guys I'm gonna do a full review of the tune and the intake, and the reason why I didn't do it earlier is because I wanted to give it a little bit of time for me to actually drive and experience the tune and as well as the intake. And I had it about a month now, I would say, and now I think it's a good time for me to actually do a full review, bring you guys the pros and the cons and the price and all that stuff, and do an in-car review later on. So we're gonna jump into this video very quickly, but before that, just follow me on Instagram, follow the Driving Grid on Instagram. I'll put Instagram right here, and just a brief, I guess, a little introduction of the tune and the intake. The reason why I said this is probably the best, I guess, package for your Audi S4 is because, first of all, the price. You can't really beat the price. The price is probably the cheapest one, other than, you know, smaller piggyback tunes and all that. But for a good company manufactured and developed tune, this is probably the best thing. For the intake, is also very nice, is because the price isn't that, I guess, good for the intake. It's all about the average range, about 300 to 400 USD. I know ECS Tuning has a full carbon fiber one that looks very pretty. This range about 329 USD, I believe. The rest you can get about 200-300 bucks. So for the intake, the price isn't that big of a factor, but the thing is the easy installation and also the sound. So I'm gonna pop the hood and let you guys see the intake. Obviously you guys can't see the tune, but we're gonna, I guess, take a look at the car first, and then we're gonna jump in for a onboard review. So let's go. All right, once again, I didn't clean my engine bay. You guys have been roasting me for a month now. So the reason is because you guys see the weather. We try to do this review for like what, last week, and it just didn't work out. And finally today I'm like, okay, check the weather, it's supposed to be sunny, and and it was sunny in the morning, and as soon as we met up, tried to shoot this video, it's like this. So I really don't know how later the launch control and my tires gonna hook, because I'm still on summer tires, and right now it's about like 2 degrees. It's very cold, it's wet, snowy, so we're gonna try to do the best we can. But let's look at the intake. So here we have the integrated engineering intake. So basically it's just a soft flex pipe, goes from your throttle body to your air filter, and this is their air filter that comes with it. Obviously you have the heat shield and mounted and everything. Very easy installation, and you got the branding. Everything feels really high quality. That's what I love about this kit. It's honestly just really solid quality, really easy to install, and absolutely the sound is fantastic. We're definitely gonna hear about it in a bit, but yeah, so this is an intake. Obviously the tune you guys can't see. They sent you a little port adapter thing you plug into your car that goes to your USB in the computer, and everything's good to go. So I'm gonna leave the hood open. I'm gonna do a little rev of the car, and the Driving Grid is gonna shoot the car, I guess, from the front to hear the whine, and also at the back. So, and then after we'll jump to the car. So we'll be right back. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed that little clip. Inside the car it's actually not that loud, but he just told me that it's extremely loud from the front. So we're gonna close the hood and go in for a little in-car review and mount the camera. So we'll be right back. Alright, so we're finally in the car. Now we're gonna do a little drive, do a classic little car review, and I'm gonna show you guys and talk about the actual numbers and my opinions and feelings towards the tune and intake. So first of all, why I said this intake and tune package is probably the best you can find is because the major point I think I will consider is price. I know there are other companies out there, you know, before I rocked with APR, there's GAC, there's Unitronic, and there's a bunch of other small ones, but I think for a reputable brand that makes good ECU tuning, the integrated engineering has the best price point. So a stage 1 for mine, I did it for about $9.99 USD. So 1,000 USD plus you have to purchase their little flash cable. It's probably about 1,100 after everything, which is very, very good comparing to a APR flash. Is probably depending on where you do it at, they might charge you from 1,500 to about 1,700-ish. Obviously, depending on the location too. If you're in Canada, you're definitely gonna get charged more. The second thing I want to say why I love the integrated engineering tune is the how easy it is for you to tune it. So you can go from stage 1 to stage 2. Let's just say you got all the hardware installed, the pulley and everything. It's literally, you buy the tune, you get it instantly, you plug in your computer, and you do it for about 10 minutes. And that's it. You don't have to take it to a dealer. You don't have to take it to a authorized, APR dealer or anything like that. You just do it at home. And if you ever want to go back down from stage 2 to stage 1 or to stock, in some cases, you can do that with a flash of a button too. You don't have to always visit someone else to tune it for you. And that's why I think the biggest advantage of the integrated engineering tune is how easy it is to tune it, and how easy it is, how portable it is to tune it. So right now, as you guys do know, I tune it about a month. I've been driving about a month. I've been driving a lot actually, and all kinds of different roads. I've driven highway, I did pools, I did everyday slow driving, and honestly, I have to say this tune, it's the best one out there. Yes, the APR is very, very good, but for the price, the IE tune feels very, very similar. For me, yes, the APR tune might have squeezed another 20 horsepower, 25 horsepower there. But for me, if you're going for a stage 1, or if you're not even tracking your car or chasing the numbers, I feel like IE tune is definitely enough. For me, it feels very, very similar. It doesn't feel anything like, the APR tune is better, or when I first drove the IE, I was quite excited. There's nothing where I said, the IE is lacking because of this and that. If everything feels very solid. In fact, the IE tune actually, for me, I feel like it has more torque down low. So right now I'm going about 2,100 RPM, so just cruising 4th gear, and just that was about 75% throttle, and the car's already moving pretty quickly. So I feel like this actually has a little bit more low-end torque than the APR one. The APR one, it's very, very linear. It revs up, and you don't feel like you're going fast. You know what I mean? It almost feels like the M3 I drove. You don't feel like you're going fast, but then you look down, you are. With this one, it has a lot of torque, and it builds earlier. And it still revs all the way up, don't get me wrong, and there's just some sort of excitement to it, and I don't know how to describe that exactly, but I just gotta say it's very exciting to drive. The tune makes the car much more fun. If you're comparing to a stock car wise, any tune, I should say, comparing to a stock car will make the car more fun, but especially the IE tune, it just feels very natural. It feels, it feels good. I don't know any other words to describe it other than just feels natural. What I mean by that is I think it just feels, when you put into D, right? I'm putting to D right now, and it's shifting for me. Feels like I'm driving a stock car. It doesn't feel like I'm out of place. The throttle response, it's almost the same in drive. But when you put into sport, and especially manual mode, your revs up, and especially pairing with the intake, it's honestly just out of this world. It wakes the car up. The differences between the throttle response in sports mode comparing to a stock car is just, such a difference. The throttle right now, it's just so instant. We all know that supercharger is known for the instant torque and the instant power delivery already, but this just makes the car so much more fun. I've never heard of integrated engineering until about 2-3 months ago. So for me to like a tune this much and to hear about it this, I guess, late, is pretty damn impressive. It's not like they've been around like APR for a while. It's not like, they're always known for their tune or for their numbers. This is, a company that, excuse me, just give me a second. So for me to say that this tune is, you know, I've only heard about this company or this tune for a little while, and it performs, I guess, above my expectation for sure. It's just truly amazing, and for the price point they're setting, and for the how convenient it is, what more can you ask for? You know, I would rather lose 20-25 horsepower for the price, and also for the portability and the convenience of me tuning a car. And now let's talk about the intake. I know this video is about the whole package, so now let me just tell you guys why I think the whole package is good. I've had a Eurocode intake before, and that intake, excuse my language, didn't do shit. I'm not saying it's a bad intake, but just for the style, what style the intake is, it was literally a flex pipe. It didn't have a open box air filter, so I couldn't really hear the whine. The throttle response didn't really increase that much, but with this intake, it's absolutely, you know, there's a noticeable difference. I hate when a product I buy and you stuck in that point where you're like, did it do anything? I think so. I wanted to believe it did something because I just spent a lot of money on it, but I don't know, you know. And that was my problem with the Eurocode intake. It was almost like me trying to convince myself it did something, but it really, you know, it didn't really do anything. But for this, as soon as I installed it and went for a drive, it was a night and day difference. Just let me show you guys. You guys hear that? That was that was about 25-50% throttle, and you know, for the amount of noise you get from this thing, it's absolutely amazing. If you guys haven't checked out my install video of the intake, I'll leave the link in my description box again. So if you want to go check that out, that is basically me installing the intake and doing the detail, I guess, unboxing. This is more of an in-car review, so I'll leave that video down below. Go check it out if you haven't. This intake, the price isn't really, I guess, that big of an advantage compared to the tune. It's about 330 USD. You can get that basically every other intake out there. I know the APR makes a beautiful carbon fiber intake. I think it's about the same price, maybe a little bit more. So you definitely have a wide variety of selection out there in terms of the intake. But I mean, a good intake is a good intake. There's not too much to it, you know. You get the noise, you get a little bit of a throttle response increase, and that's about it. You know, it's not like there's a big difference between each intake. If it's a good intake, it's a good intake. It is very, very easy to install. Every component of the intake, including the air filter, the heat shield, and even down to the screws, feels high quality. It comes in a really nice packaging. Everything is labeled in different bags, and there's a detailed tutorial videos online from their website or from other YouTubers actually you can watch, and you definitely won't have any troubles of, I guess, installing it. For me, I'm not really handy to begin with, and if I can do it, you guys can definitely do it. So with limited tools, I've installed the intake within an hour, I want to say, no problem. So, and the noise you get is absolutely amazing. Check this out. I don't know if you guys can hear the intake that well because I have a directional mic, a shotgun mic pointing at me, and obviously the intake noise is coming from the front of the car. So right now we're gonna cut to a clip of the driving grid, pointing the camera to the front of the car, and give you guys more, I guess, in-depth hearing of the intake and also the tune, because he was struggling to hold the camera straight. But regardless of that, we're gonna check that out. So, as you guys can hear, it's definitely loud. So, as you guys can hear, it's definitely loud. Honestly, in car, you definitely will hear it. And it's just, you know, I know I said before that I wasn't a fan of the supercharger whine. Well, that's because I never had it. It's really a different sound when you listen to it on YouTube from other people than listen to your own car. When you listen to it online, it almost just kind of a high-pitched sound that's annoying, almost seems like. It's one of those things that's like unnecessary, you know? But when you actually have it in your own car, it's something else. It's just with the tune and with the throttle response and the noise coming on, the harder you push the throttle, it's just something different, and I truly enjoy it. So the intake, I'll leave the link in my description box. Again, go check it out if you guys are interested. And honestly, I can't say enough good things about it. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. After driving about a month, I can definitely say this package is the best one out there. I've been doing a little bit of research here and there on different intakes and tunes, and I can definitely say this package, their integrated engineering 2 and their intake, is the best one of the best ones you can find online for sure. If you don't mind breaking a couple bucks, then obviously your selection becomes wider and you can run different setups. But if you're like me, are kind of on a budget and want to, you know, spend the least money possible but to get a good result, definitely don't ignore integrated engineering. Check them out, you won't regret it. Certainly I didn't. Honestly, this wraps up the review. Just one word: fantastic. So subscribe to my channel, like this video, and follow me on Instagram, and I definitely have more content planning for you guys for sure. So stay in tune, follow me on Instagram, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.